I'm not ready, but we are back
Yes.
on a Monday.
Yeah, we're here on a Monday.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this to me?
You know, the anticipation of seeing you on a Wednesday, I just couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what, let's do Monday.
Yeah. So here I am.
Yeah. Well, it's good. We're here.
You're welcome.
Anywho, you see my shirt?
Yeah. What a shirt, man.
Yeah. Well,
It's something.
we have a Dallas seminar. It's called Success Seminar. They're coming up. And if you come to, we're giving away these shirts.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Apparently the Cowboys haven't got that memo yet.
I'm just going to eat that
Mm-hmm.
because I have nothing to say about that. But yeah, the seminar is going to be great. We bring professionals in from the Dallas area, and they come in. We feed lunch, coffee, cool shirts, and the team gives the presentation, and we just show companies how they can make money and be successful with using CrossLink. So
Nice. When is that?
it's next month.
Oh, next month.
Yeah. So I think it was 12th. Don't quote me.
Don't look at me for the answer. I don't know.
I can't see. What was it? The 10th.
You're close. Everybody shows up on the 12th. Where's it at?
Yeah, no. So on the 10th, there was a couple of days juggling back and forth. So, but in the news, we wanted to go over this Accounting Today article.
Yeah.
So funny. It's not funny, but we talked about this guy on a previous pod.
Yeah. Mr. Littlejohn is back.
Charles Littlejohn, who was sentenced in January to a maximum penalty of 5 years in prison and a $5,000 fine for basically just leaking Trump's tax return and I about said Elton John, but Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
So it looks like the House passed the Taxpayer Data Protection Act. And basically it looks like this thing is just upping the penalties on that.
Yeah, basically. To try to, I guess, further deter people from doing the same thing, which I figure the jail time would be enough of a deterrent for 5 years for wanting to do this. But they doubled that to 10 years, but taking the $5,000 penalty to $250,000.
$250,000.
Yeah.
But still at 10 years, I mean, oof.
I don't want that at all.
Don't leak anybody's information.
Returns?
Yeah, it's they're about their business now.
Yeah. So, I mean, I figure the jail time be enough of a deterrent. Is that, I'm sure that guy wanted to make a little money from the papers that he leaked it to. So,
yeah, that paid for the fine probably.
Yeah.
Not for the years.
No. No.
But yeah, I just thought that was interesting because we touched on it earlier, and then I saw that come up, and I'm like, yeah, because I remember talking about it, and we're like, that $5,000 doesn't seem like a whole big deal.
It's pretty low on that.
And you might be able to get that sentence down.
And I wonder, it was like the last sentence here is like also clarifies that each taxpayer impacted by unauthorized disclosure of the taxpayer counts as a distinct violation. So
so let's just say that Trump, Elon, and Jeff Bezos, that's 3.
Is that $750,000 now? Is
Right.
it $250,000 for each infraction? So I don't know about that, but also that's a lot of money. So
That is
should
a lot.
hopefully be quite a big deterrent in this occurring again in the future.
Yeah.
Mr. Littlejohn.
Little John. He's
name.
taking a bad rep right now.
What a name.
So the other thing I was going to look into is from the CPA practice advisory. Can you go over to that tab? Yeah. So they had ran a survey, and I think, the survey was conducted for Canopy and CPA Practice Advisor in June of this year. It includes responses from 240 accounting professionals. So yeah, there's a lot to unpack in this survey, but there's a lot of good information. And I think initially they have to look in here. They're basically wanting to see like the future of the industry for these people. So they're like asking them, here we go. advisor survey asked respondents to share where they currently were and where they thought their firms would be 3 to 5 years from now on topics like AI, workplace dynamics, remote work models, client interaction, digital transformation, security, and more. So let's just start talking about the AI integration portion. Anything that jumped out to you in that section?
I mean, not in particular. It talks about, 80% anticipating more use of AI in the future as it grows. So I would expect that'd probably be a larger percentage. As the years go and AI becomes more prevalent and more useful, it's only going to, create assistance in areas for the business to either lessen the workload in certain places, like a lot of it they talk about the large use of it right now talks about it in like the writing or the communications. So, and there's only, I can't remember the percentage, but something like 30% in that area. That's got to probably almost become a standard use across most companies, I would assume, just to make it easier for the individuals and cut down work time just to send out emails or responses or using chat bot technology. That kind of thing going. And then it's still on the same page here, with 20% of these respondents expecting that 51% more CPAs will retire within the next 3 years. So you're going to be losing a lot of CPAs or a lot of employees. So this could pick up the area there. It doesn't seem like we talked about last week that CPAs are going to be growing as far as people seeking out that, obviously, with like last week we mentioned.
Unless they give away or get rid of the 150.
Do away with that. So how functional would it be in like certain areas? Like they talk about their ledgers or bookkeeping kind of areas. That to me, obviously use of AI in that, it's going to cut down workload, but it's still going to have to be reviewed, I would assume. They can't just let it completely do it without having a second set of eyes.
You mean you can't fully trust AI?
The technology. The robots are wrong.
But look, we can ask anybody in any occupation of AI, are you using it? And the majority of people are going to say probably yeah, at some level that AI is being used.
Right.
If you're not, there is a high percentage of these accounting firms that are not using it. I think it was like around 35%. But you would think that those would be the older generation.
Right.
And from the more details in the report, there's a lot of those people are going to be retiring soon.
Well, yeah, with a lot of them, it's 51% of the 20% of the respondents. So obviously it's not, there's a large portion of them that aren't losing a massive workforce of their CPAs. But, as it is, they talk about later in here with a lot of non-CPAs preparing certain types of work. So, obviously it's not the most booming or growing field or of type of degree to seek out. So with more of them leaving, obviously you're going to have more non-CPAs start preparing some of these type of financials that these CPAs typically work on. So through the use of AI, it could cut down a lot of the manual entries for it. You just have to have the people there that can be able to review it, which is a lot less time consuming than a lot of the input data. Because a lot of it could be used for more monotonous tasks or just simple repetitive entries that are very easy to do, but just more time consuming. If we can use AI in that aspect, it's pretty good.
Yeah. And it just all matters of what we allow AI to do and how far we want to take it.
How far it'll go.
Can we sit here and map out the entire job structure in AI? If you can sit here and think about it, someone's smart enough to program some AI to probably learn it.
Yeah.
So will we allow it? I don't know.
Time will tell.
That isn't my decision. But yeah, I think a lot of it was just communications with their clients. They spent a whole lot of time communicating back and forth with their clients. And a lot of that communication can probably be minimized through AI. Just like we were showing in previous episodes of Zapier.
Right.
Just those little emails that get fired off from triggers and that kind of thing. That's using AI technology.
Yeah.
And if these companies start to utilize that, that's just going to cut down on them spending so much time communicating, which is going to give them more opportunity to do other things to make money.
Right.
So nothing surprising as far as AI goes. Also in the report, they talked about remote hybrid work models. I don't think that's anything that we really need to dive into that deep, because that's pretty much around the country or world now that hybrid models are acceptable and
seems to be
common.
More coming the new norm.
Yeah.
Offering some sort of it at least.
Yeah. So I think as far as AI, I think we're on agreement that, those seem fair.
Yeah, I mean, it's coming. It's taking over.
Yeah. One thing I did see in here, it was interesting. They talked about all the accounting tools that these companies used. And from the survey, they surveyed all these people, and 45% of them said they use 1 to 5 tools in their business. I mean, there's a lot of people in here using like 11 tools, 20 tools. Like, that's a lot to keep up with. Not even to mention the times you have to log into those things.
Having 20 different logins.
But the keeping 1 to 5 tools, I think, is fair for the industry. The number one tool that these individuals said they used was tax software. Yeah. That's obvious. And then a general ledger tool. Yeah. And then I forgot, what was the other one? The portal. So document sharing. Yeah. Document sharing. So yeah, that's primarily the 3 ones that you need. Then you could probably use like a payroll service, some kind of e-signature, which, and then the other one was like a CRM. So to track your customers.
So those all make sense. I was just trying to think of how they're using 16 to 20 tools. What the?
Yeah, unless you have, like, I don't know the sizes of these accounting firms that are being surveyed.
Yeah.
I mean if you have like giant organizations, sure. Yeah. You're going to have a lot more tools than
that you're going to need to keep track of everything, I'm sure.
Yeah. What was it? Yeah, it said 57% of respondents like to be using between 1 and 5 tools within the 3 years. So everyone's wanting to consolidate their tech stack just to, make it more efficient. AI is going to help that. Getting younger in the workforce will help that. And a lot of these companies coming out now, that's their goal, is trying to find some kind of like omni-channel where it's not just one certain software. It can do multiple sections of your business. So we'll see. But using 20 tools just for an employee, that's just tough.
There's so many different places to go to.
Anything else stick out to you? The digital versus paper thing. Come on.
Yeah, I was reading that, which, obviously still getting away from some of the older ways of doing things. That's why there's still paper around. But at this point, digital is just so much more easier and convenient.
As we're holding paper notes.
Yeah. This isn't my doing. This is your doing.
Definitely my doing.
But, just for storing data, especially if you're a tax office, I'm sure you got to keep some sort of physical, but it's just so much to maintain. File cabinets of tax returns. It's so much easier just to have it digitally stored and just a few clicks away from being able to be retrieved. And especially from the customer side, if you're maintaining your tax documents, if you have 3, 5, 10, 20 years worth of tax documents, it's just, there's too many files to maintain, or it's so hard to go back and find certain things, or you lose it. It's just easier if everything's stored digitally. Plus the trees, man.
You got to save the trees.
Got to save the trees.
They're beautiful. But the, that leads, you can store them all in-house, but that also brings it, you take everything digitally. Now you're got to look out for your security online.
Yeah.
And that was one of the big things that they went through in here as well. it was basically, I mean, I think the number was 99, but it's
what's up with that 1%? That's not
1% didn't care
yeah.
about their security, but 99% of them, you know, that was really high on their score, was they all cared about the security.
It's like that. Dentist, 9 out of 10 recommend. Who's that one dentist that doesn't like it?
Yeah. But and I'll quote this from the article. It says, the financial impact of these branches vary, with 29% of those affected costs of less than $100,000. However, some breaches, we're talking about security, have been more costly, with 11% of respondents experiencing losses between $500 and $1 million. And then 3% reporting losses exceeding $5 million. So it's no joke.
No.
They do say additionally 17% of them couldn't really financially attach anything to it.
I mean,
but their reputation was breached.
Yeah, that's also financially important as well.
Yeah,
it's significant. I mean, obviously, growing concerns with the data security, but obviously, this is a smaller group of who's pulled or how many number of people responded, but only 15% of the respondents haven't had security breaches. It's a number, but it's not crazy high. So obviously, as the years go, and however AI can probably impact some security things and assistance there, can reduce that number. But I thought that was interesting. Only 15%.
Well, I mean,
expected it to be a little higher.
One of the things is interesting from the report is 49% of the respondents allow clients to email sensitive information such as tax forms to their firm, while 51% do not permit this practice or tell you that they permit this practice. It's probably easier to get someone to email you directly over their tax information. It's like, hey, just email me it over. But that's probably where all these breaches are coming from, is people can get inside your email a lot easier than if you have some kind of, security in play.
Right.
And that's mainly why the IRS comes out and now is requiring these people to make the WISP. So you have to have a security plan in place, and they require that. So all these companies now, I see them all over the place. People are offering to create WISP for companies and all this sort of thing, because now the IRS is regulating that you have to have that WISP in play. Just in case something like this does happen, they at least know that you're going to take the steps to
some sort of
get it right.
Procedurals in place.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, a lot now with the use of technology more and more, that it's just so much easier for people just to send all your documents electronically. More convenient for A, the taxpayer, B, the tax preparer, to not have to wait on somebody to come in and bring stacks and stacks of paper, again, to clutter up a file.
I mean, that was the main reason we created our tax pass.
Yeah.
So, taxpayer basically just creates an account on our tax pass, and you can send over your documents, and it goes right into our tax return document archive. So all that information is right there in the tax return.
Makes it a lot, as long as there's an area in place for secure transmission of the data versus email. I mean, you can always do the encrypted, password protected ones, but also if you're getting only using your email to get that, and I think it talked about this in there, a lot of the data breaches were because of email, misclick. So if you're always constantly going to your email and maybe not paying attention, you click on a bad one, and then all of a sudden you're infected.
You just don't. You can't. It's hard to figure out what is a spam email versus a real email. I mean, I get emails all the time.
That's why I ignore all my emails. That is my data security plan.
Just never open an email,
and I'm fine.
That's like my wife. I look on her phone, and it's like, how can you have 10,000 unread emails? It would totally drive me crazy.
That's about how my Gmail account looks. Just loaded.
But
never check it.
Yeah, the good thing to do would be to check your emails, but don't click on suspicious ones. Well, but they're making it harder to figure that out.
100% success rate of not clicking on suspicious ones.
I got you.
Just not clicking on any of them.
Don't email Tanner. But overall, the survey's great. I thought it gave a lot of valuable information.
It talked about a lot. There's a lot in here.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably more than we would care to go over in here. But was there anything that jumped out you wanted to discuss?
I mean, aside from those topics, not largely. Just, again, looking back here, number of accountants retiring over 3 years, There's a lot of companies. 67% of firms plan to hire new employees in the next 3 years. 37 definitely planning to do so. 30 likely. On the other hand, 33, not planning on hiring, but with, a large number of the respondents expecting significantly, half basically across some of them of their CPAs to retire. I thought that was kind of interesting.
I don't think the industry is going anywhere.
No.
I think, there's going to be a lot of retirement people, but they're going to be bringing new people in, younger. AI is going to help. If they mess with this CPA requirement, that will lead more people to go for that.
Might get some more people to get that certification. I mean, it's definitely always going to be a use for accountants, for CPAs and that kind of thing. It just, it's not probably as an attractive as a career path as it might have once been.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, technology has certainly decreased that.
Yeah.
Because just technology overall has decreased, the people are, brought more knowledge to a normal person to handle that themselves.
Right. Be able to,
Back in the day, it was like everyone's got to go to the accountant.
Well, yeah, because back then everything's being worked out by hand. So the softwares and technologies and AI, everything starts growing. It becomes a little bit more less rigorous to complete certain
I can
tasks
remember back in the day people doing them by hand.
Yeah.
And
it's awful.
And I can think of one in particular. I won't throw him out there, but probably still does it.
I'm sure.
Just because that's what he's comfortable with.
Yeah. I'm sure
he's probably he'd be one of the ones that reported no AI, and it's okay. Do you? But there's an easier way.
Yeah. Well, at a certain point, some people are already set in their ways. They're only got a few more years left in the business. What's worked for them will continue to work for them for the remaining few years. But down the line, as newer people get into the industry and younger accountants or companies start up, tax preparation offices, it's nice to have all these avenues to just gives you what's the word I'm looking for? Gives you better opportunity, chances to increase your revenue and, doing more with, or doing less with more, I guess. Or doing more with less.
It's just modernizing your business.
Yeah.
So I think for me, I don't think I have much more on that survey.
Yeah, I mean, look, they need to pass that thing and just give me an honorary CPA.
There you go.
I'm good. That increases the number.
Just you won't be emailing clients because you don't even know how to log into your email.
Well, I know how to get in there. Just ignore it. If the IRS ever asks, what's my data security plan? Just ignore everything.
There you go. You might fail that one.
It's a plan. 100% success rate.
Moving on to trade shows.
Mm-hmm.
So we have one in Houston coming up. I think it's in a month or two. But the last one we went to was in Vegas for the NATP.
Mm-hmm.
They said it was a good show. Good location. Vegas is always fun.
Yeah, could be good for some, bad for others.
Yeah.
Depending on how the casinos go.
Yeah. And we also have our webinars coming up. So every year we traditionally do like a series of webinars leading up into tax season. And I believe those were all scheduled, set. I just don't have them. But I will let everybody know like when those come out, when they are and what they're about. Those are good to attend. If you listen to the pod, you should probably attend the webinar.
There's good information in those.
Yeah. We usually go over like new tax law stuff. We also go into how to use our software and things like that. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Gosh, I can't believe that's already coming up.
It's almost October. Yeah. But it is fall.
Officially.
You can't really tell
really
in Florida.
matter here.
I saw a meme is like it's first day of fall. but it's still 95 degrees.
Yeah. There's one season plus, a handful of cold days.
Yeah. But I think that was all we had to cover on today's pod. Are you good?
Yeah, I don't think I have anything else.
And we'll be here next week on a Wednesday.
Yes, not a Monday. Wednesday.
I think we did good for a Monday.
Well, it's better than I expected. More here. It's good.
All right, man. Appreciate you coming by.
Yep.
Thanks.
Bye.